Hi everyone, I'm Eric.
I'm Rich.
I'm Craig.
And we are Who's Turn Board Games. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the classic Catan for really the game that started it all, so to speak. So this is, if you haven't played it, first off, what are you doing on the channel? No offense, but this is like your intro to Board Games 101. So with Catan, you have a randomized setup island, and you roll dice. You roll 2 dice. You have your houses out or your settlements out, and you get resources based on what number hits. Every single resource has a number on it. Number 7, whenever you roll it, moves the robber. They steal resources. You build roads. You upgrade your settlements. You trade. All of this should be ringing a bell. Like this is. I really don't know what else I can say about it that hasn't been said before. This is the classic. So, with that being said, I'm going to start off with saying I love how easy this one is. There's a reason that it's a classic. There's a reason that it's everyone's intro to board games. It's very, very simplistic. It's very, very even because it's all random. It's all based on dice, and it's not just one person rolling the dice. Everybody takes their turn. So if you are bad at rolling dice, and he's great at rolling dice, it doesn't matter. But that is one thing, and that is this. It's a classic. It does it very well. It's a very solid game overall. There's like a million versions of it. So if you don't like the original, every single one kind of does something extra, and I love that. So I think it's really awesome.
Yeah, and for being such an intro level game though too, I think it has some depth with some strategy. A lot of it is placing your stuff at the start of the game and what you're going for, but people can mess you up, and interactions with trying to get roads first, cutting people off, and getting to certain things. Like ports to give you a better trade value, and that you can just trade randomly with everybody, and so it's like, oh no, I'm not going to trade with you, you're about to win, and then the other guy's like, oh no, but I can. But you can offer different deals, different everything. I like that in games, and that plus a little bit of strategy. The only bad part is that it is also kind of very limited strategy.
Yeah, I really like the game. The one thing I don't like myself, it's probably one things that people find the best, and really the only big strategy part in this game is trying to remember what was all taken, who has what resources at pretty much any point in the game. I don't really want to take the mind power to remember 4 turns ago he got 3 wood and now he's gotten another brick so he can lay out a road to beat me there. That's about the biggest thing. Like, I don't want to take the effort really to try and remember all that.
Yeah, no, card counting has a clear advantage in this game by far, but you can typically see what they're going to get based on where they're located. My only problem with this game, my biggest issue I should say, is it is all luck, and so based on that luck, you might get screwed. You might end up getting somewhere like you're going 3rd, and there's out of 4 people, so it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So you're going 3rd. You don't have the best 2 spots. You will have 1 okay spot. This person's going twice, so they can literally set themselves up, and then you're going again. So you might end up getting screwed based on what your strategy is, and you're already kind of... Don't really like that. Don't really like how random everything is on random chance, because you could get bad numbers, and you could get bad numbers and roll a lot of them. Like you could get a 2 or 3 and it could roll a whole bunch of times. It's happened. You can have me on a 6 or an 8 and it could roll 4 times in the entire game. And you're like, I'm on a 6 and an 8. Like odds are that these should be hitting every time. That's the problem I have with the game. Is I like a little more strategy in my game. I don't like how random it is, but that is what this game is all about. So
then, more of a petty thing, but the thing that I don't like about the game then too with rolling is you're generally playing with some newer people, and then you play this game and then they don't want me to win, and so you get robbered all the time. So I find myself a lot of times going heavy development cards, which is fine, it's a good strategy, but heavy development cards because I need them knights to get that robber off my damn space.
Yeah.
It's like I keep getting robbered. It's like I'm not even winning.
Yeah, but you're the most experienced. But you are the one winning.
But this person's gonna win. Rob them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's another thing. People can kind of get tunnel vision. They'll be like, this guy's getting close. We'll robber him and steal his resources nonstop. And meanwhile, someone that was a point or 2 further back, you're not even really realizing is just as close as winning because he has 2 victory point cards in his hand instead, and all of a sudden they win while you're just getting beat up on, and you end up not winning even by a long shot. Or even one thing I've had happen in this game, and partially why I dislike it, is you need to guarantee that your first 2 buildings that you build are kind of on opposite sides of the island, because if you build sort of close to each other, people can literally block you into a corner to where you can't really do anything except for just build out to a harbor, and you have like 3 things, and now you're just stuck in your little tiny quarter of the island.
Yep. No, hands down. You can be really mean in this game once you know what you're doing, and that is one thing I do not really like either. But that being said, I do enjoy when you're kind of in a rough spot. There's nothing better than when you win Catan and it's like you only have the 3 settlements because everyone was picking on you, but you still win because you're like, I don't really care. My numbers hit. You know what I mean? Like the luck is just in your favor that game. It's a lot of fun. Doesn't usually happen because it's all luck based. So it is one of those things. The expansions, I shouldn't say the expansions, the versions add in a little bit something to get rid of that luck. I know for a fact that there was one I played that you had a hero and you had a special ability that was just yours. So it's like every time, like I don't remember if it was a number or if it was like somebody took a sheep or something like that, you instantly get a sheep. So it doesn't matter anywhere you are. You're never going to go on sheep because you don't care, but there was something along those lines. So it does change the game quite a bit if the original is not your forte.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of the thing I kind of like about it, though, is being a dick and losing money. Because the other thing you can do is have, a lot of ore went out or whatever, and you got a lot of it, and then you trade all of your ore away to people for a bunch of other things, and then, I did go heavy development cards, and by the way, I have Monopoly on ore. And then you take it all back. So you just traded all your ore away, got all of their other stuff, and then got it back anyway, and you get everything.
And
then everyone else quits the game.
And then it goes to my turn, and I'm praying for a 7, so I discard all his cards, and I just put it right on his stuff and steal it right back.
Yeah. There's a reason people pick on him. But that is the fun of the game. I will agree too. Is that as much as it sucks to be on the receiving end, it is fun to be on the delivering end of that every once in a while. So.
Mm-hmm. And like he was mentioning about some of the additions to the game. That is one thing about Catan is if you drop down that rabbit hole, there is a ton of content that has been added to this game over the years.
Yep. No, and really, if you like any theme, pick a theme, pick a genre. All right, Star Trek, Star Wars, Harry Potter. I think I saw one of. Like all the originals. I think there's a Lego one. Like, pick your theme, and you can find a Catan for that. It is that, like, I won't say that basic, but that much of a widespread board game that they literally just, like, the flavor of the week. What kind of Catan should we make
today? Kind of like the Monopoly, where they just have a million different versions of the exact same game.
Yep. And yeah, it is. The Star Trek one was the one I was thinking of that actually had the heroes, but it played the exact same way, just you had a hero. But that is just what you do, is you just find your flavor. So, with all that being said, we'll go right into the review scoring. I'm going to give this one a solid 7.0. I enjoy the game. It has its flaws. I've played it way too much, which is why it's not higher, which is why it's also not lower, is that I can really say with experience, it's a solid game. Always willing to play it, always willing to teach new people how to play it, because it is a great intro game, no matter how you slice it, and there's a reason for that, and I do enjoy it. I hate the random luck of it, which is why it's not a higher score. I hate being picked on by Richard, but other than that, it is a solid game and something I would be willing to play, not necessarily something I'm going to get together on purpose to play.
I was literally, you took my score as we were sitting here, because I was like, you know what, I'm going to go, a lot of times I do points and things, but like, Catan is like, I feel like it's the mother of intro games.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about games that have done the most for the board gaming community, I mean, Catan's probably as close to a 10 as you can possibly get for a game. It brings people into games. It's probably some of people's first real games they love to enjoy. But then the problem is you move on to other things. It's the best, like, intro game there is. But yeah, I would say it's about a 7.0, because then it's just, there's no breadth of strategy to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For my score, I'd probably go a little lower and give it like a 6.5. I do like the game, but I just don't really see me wanting to really play it unless I am trying to get other people into the game, because while it is a really good game, there's just other games that I find more entertaining that I would rather play if I'm going over to a friend's house. But if there's someone who's new and I'm wanting them to kind of get into the hobby, I will never say no to us getting them into the hobby and playing Catan.
Yeah, it is always it's a solid intro, and like you said, it's done probably the most for the board game community over the years, more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
As far as getting into the advanced stuff, because the monopolies, all that stuff, those always help. But this teaches you that there's more than just that, like the kid games. So
Roll dice, move pawn.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which I guess it's kind of the same. You roll dice, you move the rubber.
Yeah.
That's our review on Catan, the classic, the one and only. So by all means, let us know in the comments below what you think of the game. Was this your intro game? Was this the one that kind of got you into everything else? This was not my intro game, but it is still one that I remember fondly. So definitely leave a comment down below and let us know about that. If you liked the video, if you found it helpful, go and give it a like. If you want to follow us on our board game journey, find more reviews, not only on the classics, but also on some of the more newer stuff, by all means, consider subscribing. We definitely do reviews on games new and old, as well as just how to play and setups, and our thoughts on board games in general. So that sounds like a cup of tea. We'd appreciate that subscribe. That is it, though. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Eric.
Rich.
I'm Craig.
And we are whose turn?